Oh, wait, 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 wait. Okay, all right. Hello. Had to get a drink
Hello.
of water there to kick this off. And my lips are still wet. Huh. Welcome to another exciting episode of Cosplay Bites, the show about cosplays, conventions, and all the extra nerdy bits and bytes. For today's episode, I am extremely happy and excited to have the ever so wonderful Emris Coscept as
Hello.
my guest today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Um, when so I guess to start it off, I essentially came across you after falling head over heels in love with your gender bend Trevor Belmont cosplay,
Oh,
and this was
that.
right at the turn of the Castlevania anime as it was premiering.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the photos were incredible, the costume was incredible, and then yeah, I just got sucked down your rabbit hole of cosplay ever since.
Well, I'm pleased that my dumpster fire man was what was what snapped you. I love
Oh
Trevor so much.
yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching the newest season.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Am I?
Yes,
Oh,
I think season 3 was setting you up for they wanted to get all of the trauma in season 3. And then season 4 is just it's a really good wrap up for everything.
okay. That's the last season. Oh,
For Trevor's arc at least. Obviously Alucard gets to keep going for the entire rest of the series. But
oh, interesting.
yep, I think he's a character in most, if not all, of the games. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually played any Castlevania games because I'm very bad at video games, and
Yeah,
they're not.
Castlevania is not my forte either.
Yeah,
I don't bother.
there's a reason why there's an entire genre of games named after part of it with the whole Metroidvania thing.
Metroids
Where,
aren't my thing either. I can't do it.
yep.
I get overwhelmed with the concept of going backwards in trying to find new areas. Like I'd get
Yep.
lost. I could use a strategy guide, but I could get lost. I don't wanna.
People who thrive in Metroidvania games are too powerful for me. I fear them.
Yeah, they too much a very high IQ. We're dumb compared to them.
I
Um,
mean, luckily, there's a very nice show that we can both enjoy. So.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Oh, good. We're getting into the thick of it. But
Mhm.
before we go even deeper, um, innuendos. I'm sorry. In any case, why don't I give you the floor and you can give me all about your nerdy history? Give me your
Sure.
origin story, if you will.
Alrighty. Well, I grew up a very bookish homeschooler, um, and was raised on a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek, like really Star Wars, Star Trek, The Chronicles of Narnia, and The Lord of the Rings are kind of
Ooh,
like.
okay.
So I had a strong mix of sci-fi and fantasy. My parents also played a lot of like early PC puzzle games like Myst and its various like spiritual successors.
Ooh, okay.
So I had a lot of, which is why I tell people I'm not a gamer despite having grown up playing lots of PC games, because the PC games I played were like weird puzzle games.
Sure.
um, but so I had that kind of like baked in a weird sort of way, and the fact that like I was homeschooled, so I wasn't like out and around people very much at all.
Hmm.
Like that sort of stuff became it colored the way that I like related to and interacted with people a lot, just in as much as like if I can find something, like if I can find like a TV show that we have both seen, or a game that we have both played, or a book that we have both read, like that is how I will relate to you as a person, as
Oh yeah,
opposed to
good. Of
like,
course.
oh, like what school did you go to? I don't I don't know. I can't help you there. um,
Nope.
but and to be honest, I feel like that's pretty much the way it is for a lot of people. At least a lot of people who would probably be listening to me right now. What matters is the things that you are kind of like uh gaga over as part of like your fictional blood.
Mm.
Um, but I ended up getting deep into anime, but not until college because I had a very, very good friend that I stayed in touch with, like from childhood all the way through. Like I'm running him through ARR right now. It's very fun because I'm just watching him go through all of the quests and being his taxi in
Oh,
game.
okay.
But he introduced me to Full Metal Alchemist, and from there it was just like deep into anime territory. I watched Batman Begins and got really into DC Comics, so like all of that is
Ooh.
like very, very mixed. Uh, all of that got thrown into the pot and stirred up, and here I am today. My first convention was also the result of my very good friend dragging me up to my first Emerald City Comic Con. Up
Okay.
because at the time we all lived in Oregon, and Emerald City is in Seattle, and we kind of threw together like slapdash cosplays because we're like, don't people usually wear costumes to these kinds of things? We don't know. Um, so one of my friends and I dressed up as the 10th and 11th Doctors from Doctor Who,
Ah,
and
okay.
then someone else was Zatanna, and someone else was Carmen Sandiego. So like we just kind of showed up in like closet cosplays, and then got there, and then we're like, people go so hard with this. Oh my
Yeah.
god. So we basically got back from that event and we're like, we can do better. And so our
Ooh,
next event
okay. Yeah,
after
you got
that,
motivated. Okay.
not better than other people, just better than we had done, obviously.
Okay.
So our next event after that was Sakura-con, however you want to pronounce it. I've literally heard both with equal frequency.
Hmm.
Um, Sakura-con 2013, and we decided that since there was a group of us who were really into this whole idea, we wanted to do a group together. So we did the Kyoshi Warriors from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ooh. Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, that's
and
good. That's good.
it's still one of my favorite things that we've ever done, like the very first thing we ever did, because
Sure.
it was kind of a lightning in a bottle experience, in as much as like it was our first convention where we felt like we knew what we were doing. Obviously, second convention ever. And there was a lot of buzz around Avatar at the time because Korra was about to come out, and we took the time to learn a uh, a Tai Chi fan kata to perform
Ooh.
while we were in our costumes.
How many of you
So
were there?
there were, I want to say, 5 of us.
Okay, that's a decent size. Yeah.
I feel like there was 5 of us because we posed a lot in like pyramid formations or like
Okay.
triangles or something. I'm trying to remember like uh that feels right. I feel like it would be bad form for me to stop and check my phone to confirm, so I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Um but it was just a ton of fun, and then from there, that experience and just the amount of like shared enthusiasm that I experienced, like I can't get that out of, it's like part of the fiber of my soul now.
Right.
I still have like most of my cosplay friends like in this area where I live are from that very first Sakura-con that I attended.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny. That's just funny. You're like cosplay begins with like a ragtag group of random people. You got 2 doctors and
Mhm.
throw in Carmen Sandiego into the mix, and
Yep.
yeah, and then
Next time we're just like we're all gonna match.
yeah, yeah, and then yeah, you did Kyoshi Warriors, which
Mhm.
was that planned? Because was that just like was that planned a long time ago, or was that just like
I think.
happenstance that Korra was just coming out as you were doing
Oh,
this?
that was pure happenstance. We got
Luck.
back
Okay.
from yeah, we got back from Emerald City. And like the next week, I think we were already planning like, okay, what groups can we do? And I think a month or two later, they announced that Korra was in production, or like
Mm.
they released the trailer or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So we were just like, oh, well now we have to do a good job on this.
2013
But,
was when Korra came out?
I'm not sure if that's when it came out, but that was when
That
now I have
can't
to
be.
look it
That
up.
can't. No, I have to look it up. That can't be that long ago.
Uh
No.
oh no, it came out in 2012. So I guess it was season 2 maybe that they had released.
It's 10 years old? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I know.
What is time?
I don't know, but it is rude is what it is.
Horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sheesh. Okay, well, we had a midlife crisis.
Mhm.
Um. Oh shoot! I was gonna grab. Well, I mean, I did grab stuff from that and segue. Oh, so like, so yeah, you're just like I guess I'll say like all around nerd or like a jack of all trades because well, yeah, you got like facets of every side of geekdom in you with
I I have an approximate knowledge of many things and deep knowledge of very few things.
yeah. Uh, so are you preferable to DC over Marvel?
I am typically because I not necessarily because of the storytelling, just because some of the characters that I have attached myself to in DC, I've attached myself to very strongly. So if
Yeah.
I was gonna go one way or the other, like I would literally fight a person on the street if they said something bad about Dick Grayson. Like I will start a fight.
Are you
And
wait? Are you dead serious?
oh yeah, totally. He's my boy. I love him. Damian Wayne, very close
Okay, so
second.
can you break up with your partner and date me instead? Because I'm a full blown. No, 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 no. I mean, I could show you afterwards, but like, I have a Nightwing tattoo on my arm. He is my favorite
Nice.
superhero, bar none.
He is.
Like, oh my god.
He might have been. He might have been my first human crush, because everyone's first crush was the animated Fox Robin Hood, and you can't convince me otherwise. But
Okay.
aside from that, um, no, I was always that kid that like I was watching shows with like adults and kids, and I always thought it was weird that like kids my age would talk about like how attractive like the adults were. I'm just like, but that's creepy though. What about the kids though? So
Yeah.
like when I was watching Star Trek, I was always like a big Wesley fan because he was the only kid on the show.
Right. Oh man.
But and like when I was first introduced to Batman as like a kid, I'm just like, oh look, there's a kid. I can go hang out with the kid. Of
Right.
course, it was Dick. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you're my favorite now, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I met Big Barda, and I adore her.
Oh,
I love Barda so much.
you went from Boy Wonder to Herald of Darkseid. Okay, that's a
I
jump.
love her. She plays Pokemon with kids on the street and thinks it's a Warriors game. I love her.
Wait, what?
Mhm. I
In where? In the show? In the comics?
no, in a comic. I it's one of the Justice League comics. I can't tell you which one, but
Okay.
there's a series of panels that I've come across over and over again where it is just Barda um playing cards with some little girl in New York, and it is very clear that they are playing Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Wow.
Pokemon, except for you can't say that it's Pokemon because copyright.
Right, right.
But they're talking about elemental damage matchups and stuff like that, and it's great. I love it so much.
Yeah, no.
Um,
My I want to say I always knew who Nightwing was, but maybe I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, and that my first real experience in falling in love with the character was legit and you probably know this, it's the Teen Titans episode where Starfire gets thrown into the future by Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Light, and she goes into the tower, she sees Robin, and he's like, I haven't seen him only, and it's just on Nightwing now. It's like, oh my god, you look so badass.
Yeah. I feel bad because I stopped I stopped at the mid-season break for season 3 of Young Justice. And I haven't picked it back up again. Apparently it gets quite traumatic, so I've also been a little scared.
Oh my
But
god.
I really enjoy, I really appreciate that show I feel like it's probably the best animated representation of Dick as a character from Robin through to adulthood. Um, that's my personal opinion. I
I
don't know if you feel
just
the same way or not,
I
but
just recently got login info from my mother for HBO Max, so
oh yeah.
I haven't dove into Young Justice, and
Oh,
I'm scared to because I feel like I forgot what the hell happened in the second season. It's just
that's fair.
so I don't know if I have to rewatch it. I mean, I did watch all of Titans,
Mm-hmm.
which it was good.
Okay.
I
I haven't seen it, so I don't have an opinion yet. But
Oh really? No,
yeah.
it is a transition from Robin to Nightwing, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the actor did a good job.
Nice.
Um, it's also sad at some points, but
Yeah.
it's very interesting to
Mm-hmm.
see this kind of view, and then I just find it hilarious, and because I also had binge watched through using a friend's login info a year prior, all of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing one of the Mormonts be Bruce Wayne was kind of hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
was it Jorah?
Jorah Mormont played Bruce Wayne in Titans.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
a very old out of out of
Right.
commission Bruce Wayne.
Like a Terry McGinnis Bruce
Almost,
Wayne.
yeah, kind of like a Terry McGinnis kind
Interesting.
of thing.
Oh, I love Terry too. I love the Bat fam. They're my precious maladaptive babies.
Yeah, are you looking forward to the Batman movie?
I am kind of I'm interested to see like I feel a little bad for saying this, but if I was going to pick a DC movie to be made, it would not have been another Batman movie, just because I feel like we have 3 really good Batman movies. Um,
Yeah.
but I am very interested to see because I just I love watching people that I wouldn't necessarily have cast in a role to see how they're gonna
What their take on the
yeah, like
character is.
what they're
Yeah.
gonna bring to it. Um, so I am very interested. I am going to say on record though, because maybe someone who makes movies will hear this. Please give me a Static Shock movie. I want it so badly. Virgil's a very good boy.
Yeah. Apparently, I read they're trying to make another CW show
Hmm.
that's titled Gotham Knights
Okay.
around the same time as the game that's coming out, where
Oh.
Bruce Wayne is dead,
Uh-huh.
and apparently, supposedly, Nightwing,
Uh-huh.
Spoiler, and Bluebird are going to be characters in the show.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've read the current line of Nightwing comics.
I haven't.
Oh my god, it's
I have heard good things though.
this current run is one of the best Nightwing runs I've read in a long time.
Oh,
Tom
rad.
Tom Taylor does a good job at understanding the character.
I'm so glad to hear
And
that.
I mean, there was this traumatic moment where I stopped reading
Mm-hmm.
because they pull the amnesia arc on him.
Oh.
He gets shot in the head in an issue of Batman, and
Mm-hmm.
forgets he was Nightwing,
Ooh.
and wants to go
Interesting.
by Rick Grayson, like R.I.C. It was very bad. I stopped reading. Then they announced that he's gonna have he gets his memories back or whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
New creative team, and
Okay, okay.
I mean Tom Taylor at the time was known for killing Nightwing in his Injustice run, and
Oh, it's that guy.
it's that guy,
Okay.
yeah. But he does a damn good job.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
throwing in the Titan in some of the issues, and because I guess it the main crux of this arc. Like this is like the last thing I'll say about it before I give too much away. Because
fair.
I would highly recommend you check out like the start of his rebirth run
Mm-hmm.
up until like this point. But I guess Alfred dies at some point,
Oh no, not Alfred.
but he leaves his fortune to Dick.
Oh,
So
that
he
doesn't
uses
surprise me at all.
so he uses the money to like help build a better community for
Yeah,
Bloodhaven because he moves there.
yeah.
And
That's this whole thing.
it's very good. Like I am very pleased at how he's been handling the character, and I don't know. I am hoping the Gotham Knights game is good because I definitely want to give that a shot.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Um, and I mean, other than that, other favorite DC heroes of mine include the Flash,
Which one? All of
ba-
them, or like?
Barry.
Aw, the classic,
Um,
the dad.
yeah, and Aquaman. I really love the comic runs. Like the New 52
Nice.
run of Aquaman was really good.
That's the
Um,
one that I will say that I prefer the New 52 the over the previous or the Rebirth.
right.
I have a rough relationship with New 52.
I
It
I
had some
mean
good stuff in it.
the Nightwing run was good,
Yeah.
and then they turned
The
him into a spy, and then I read that later because no,
Yeah.
that didn't jive with me.
Nah, it wasn't theatrical enough. Dick
Um,
is the theatrics of Batman. Like, let him be weird and colorful.
Funny enough, New 52 Nightwing was my first cosplay. Like I did his red
Really?
emblem back in
Fun.
2012.
It is a cool look. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I felt special because I felt like I was the only person doing that color scheme of Nightwing.
Oh, it's
Everyone
hard.
does is blue.
Yeah, well, blue is very classic and very recognizable. It's hard to want to branch out unless you have like a strong connection to it. If you want like the oh like what are you cosplaying moments? Like if you're cool with that, please do the alternate stuff because someone will have their day made because of it. But every once in a while, you're just like, I just want people to know who I am.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Thoughts on the Snyderverse? Any?
Ooh, oh, this is where I'm gonna make enemies probably. I am not a huge fan of Zack Snyder's filmmaking style,
Okay.
which means that there's a lot of elements that I appreciate, but the types of stories that, like the way he tells stories, is never my favorite, honestly.
Okay.
Um, and I I think when you see how deeply I appreciate like JRPG storytelling, I feel like that is kind of understandable.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Um, Zack Snyder is a very Western storyteller. Not in as much as like cowboy Western, but in like a very identifiably like American Western storyteller. Um, and that's not a bad thing. It's just not my favorite
No,
style.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see the comparison. Yeah.
but I really love his casting choices. Like the dude can cast characters because like Henry Cavill looks amazing as Superman. Ben Affleck was actually one of my favorite Batmans. I'm not gonna lie, I liked Batfleck a lot as like an older Batman.
Oh yeah, he was
Um,
great as Batman. I agree.
like everyone, and like I loved Alfred. Like I, all of the elements were there. It just wasn't necessarily the stories that I wanted to see. But that's not like anyone's fault. It's just wasn't my style.
Right.
But they do look very cool though, and I was pleased that they included Cyborg because Vic is also a very good boy and deserves more attention.
Yeah. Yeah. There was that whole drama with the actor and Joss Whedon and
Oh, I wasn't.
oh that mess.
I didn't
Oh
follow
that.
the production, so I wasn't. I'm not aware of any of that. I hope nothing.
He just got mistreated by Joss a
Oh,
bunch during the
unfortunately,
film, and then just got
yeah.
sidelined.
Yeah,
I won't go into it. You could probably look it up on your own time, but
that's fair.
it's not a pretty story.
I am disappointed but not surprised, unfortunately.
Um, Jason Momoa is a fantastic Aquaman.
Yes.
Um,
He did not disappoint.
I'm
Dude
looking
can
forward
cast.
I'm looking forward to a sequel.
Yeah, it'll
Cause,
be interesting to see where it goes from here.
Cause that movie
I
was so fun,
yeah.
and now I actually have an appreciation for the upcoming Flash movie because this may be a sad admission, but through HBO Max, I finally watched the original Batman, Batman Returns, and Batman Forever for the first time.
Really?
Yeah,
What did you think?
I can understand why people like Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, he's fun. He's
And potentially how people probably got horny for Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, because
oh
Jesus
god.
Christ.
She's hot now. Like she has the presence that I would want from Catwoman. Like Selena Kyle or no, like that's the kind of like you need that sort of like commitment to being the most powerful person in the room.
Yeah.
Even if it's by sheer crazy, like you got to commit to it. But yeah, no, Michael Keaton is probably I think he's the most personable Batman, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was very funny because like them being Tim Burton movies, there's a lot of choices with a capital C being made. Uh
Okay.
like I think the first Batman movie, doesn't he sleep upside down? Or like spend time
What?
in like a suspension
I don't
thing,
know.
like
I
to
don't
think or
remember.
something, like part of his brooding. I might be totally misremembering that, but I feel like there were some interesting choices made as far as like the aesthetics of Batman. But like
Uh-huh.
he was likable. Like
Yeah, I...
uh he was still dark, but he was likable. And I think that that is part of the reason why he like is still so popular as Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting if they are gonna... I mean, it sounds like they are gonna go through the Flashpoint route with the Flash movie.
Oh, that's gonna be a time.
Because well, I don't know if it was confirmed or maybe he dropped out of the role, but I thought I heard that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was gonna play Thomas Wayne, Batman.
Ooh.
Which is too perfect of a
Yeah.
casting, honestly.
Again, dude can cast.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I don't think it's Zack Snyder making the Flash movie.
Oh.
It's
Well, someone else can cast too then.
yeah, because I think Supergirl was going to be in it, and like it did with another Flash in the
Interesting.
trailer. I am very. Don't worry, this is me having a new love for Emris because we're giant DC
I
fans.
was
We
gonna
will
say,
get to
welcome to DC talk.
yeah, we'll get to other topics. I swear, we will. I promise. This means it's going to be a long episode, so strap in. Um, I am having a hard time understanding why now, of all times, there is such a love for Black Adam. I understand
Huh.
that The Rock had a thing for him, and he feels he was made for that role.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like,
But
why
why
Black
though?
Adam? Where did this
I'm
come from?
I'm not gonna lie. I have no clue either. I think
Where
that
did Shazam come? Where did this love for Shazam come from?
that's a fair. I don't know. Like they've been including Shazam in a lot of things, like the animated Justice League cartoons and stuff like that. And then like he's in Young Justice too. So I feel like he's been kind of around for a while, so people are familiar with him as like being present. But like the movie from a couple years back was definitely the first time that anyone's taken the time to really like develop him as far as like giving us Billy Batson's origin story, giving us any real lore about Shazam or whatever. So I think
Hmm.
people are finally getting to know the character and like the lore and like the family more and stuff like that. And so now they're like, yeah, give us more. Like let's keep going and see where this goes. It's kind of like how I feel like Into the Spider-Verse really like kicked the door in on like uh the rest of possible Spider-Man storytelling aside from just Peter Parker, which is great because I also love Miles. Please just give me alternates, please. I love them. They need more attention. My favorite runs of like Batman comics recently were still like Dick as Batman too. I love established characters, but I love it even more when like we get people filling in for them, or like characters that are like normally sidelined and like get explored more.
Yeah, there's this upcoming comic event that's happening in DC that I probably won't follow because I honestly just follow Nightwing at this point.
That's fair. He'll keep you busy enough.
But apparently they're gonna kill the entire Justice League, and they're gonna explore a world without the Justice League. It's actually this next event called Dark Crisis. Like, cool, another Crisis event. Cool, what are we doing now?
Yep.
But so they're exploring like a way to bring them back and like just a world without the Justice League, like the main core members.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the panels shows like everyone gathering in memoriam, and who's stepping up to make a speech? It's fucking Nightwing, because of course it is. Because he's like because he's had connection with every. He's like the linchpin of the entire universe.
He really is. He's
connected to so many people.
He's the Batman sidekick whose favorite superhero is Superman. Like,
that's where he got his name.
Yep. He loves Kryptonian
I know. This is now a Dick Grayson Stan podcast.
Welcome to our Grayson Fancast.
I will be renaming this podcast this episode. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just... I don't know. Because it's like... So I first got back into comics hardcore through Green Lantern. Because my friend lent me like Sinestro Corps War graphic novel collections.
Nice.
So I thought that was cool. Which then led me into reading Blackest Night.
Mm-hmm.
Which then got me into reading mostly Green Lantern and The Flash, like Brightest Day event. Eventually it all led into Flashpoint, and then, you know, you got the New 52, where I stuck with Nightwing, Batman, Justice League Dark.
That's a fun one. Speaking of, like, marginalized characters.
I love the magic side of the DCU. I love it. It's, and, like, I don't know.
Everyone's so gosh darn weird. I love them.
I don't know if Guillermo del Toro's like Dark Universe movie is still happening.
Because he'd been so perfect for it.
He'd been on and off about that movie.
That's
I don't know if it's still like happening. If it got canceled or whatever the hell, but I think he is the like best director to do like that kind of like horror,
for sure.
Like a horror-y, like kind of magic DC comics. Like I don't know. But
I want a Lovecraft Country style like TV show, but with DC Comics. I know that Lovecraft Country is very much about racism and not about cosmic horror. But also, it did cosmic horror really good too. I appreciated it a lot.
Yeah. I will say Matt Ryan is a fantastic John Constantine. He literally stepped him out of the comic book. It's great. I mean, I enjoyed the Arrowverse for what it was and what it did.
Yeah.
With its own... They did Crisis.
I know.
Which was
it was
nuts.
very ambitious.
Yeah. What else about DC Comics can we gush about?
Oh, boy.
I
love John...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I love John Jones, too.
He's good.
He's so lonely. He needs a hug.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I liked him in Supergirl.
That is actually the number one reason why I started watching Supergirl. is because I heard it had John in it. I'm like, well, here we go.
Okay, so have you seen Superman and Lois?
No, I haven't. I knew that it was coming out. I feel like I didn't have like access to it at the time for some reason, so it kind of like passed me by a little bit.
If you can get access to the CW app, they always have like episodes on the next day after it airs on TV.
Okay.
Don't have to pay for it, but I mean,
Rad.
have you seen Tyler Hoechlin play Superman?
Yes, I did. I saw him in
So do
Supergirl. It was
so
very
do you
good.
have? Can you agree that he is the best portrayal of Superman we've ever gotten?
I
I feel that hard.
So it's very funny. I am going to slightly disagree, but you're going to laugh at me because of this. Because my favorite Superman, like live action Superman, was Brandon Ruth in the Superman Returns movie
Oh, of
from like
course it was.
2002 or something like that. Just because he's such a good Clark. And I feel like the Clark side of Superman is so ignored.
Yeah,
Like and for that reason I will not I will agree with you that oh shoot, who's the actor again from
Tyler Hoechlin.
Tyler? Yes, he is fantastic just because he is so stinking likable. Like, and that's just Clark. Like
Yeah,
that's his whole thing is he's just so sweet and also could crush you.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it was so funny how Brandon got to be Superman again during the Crisis event.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
god, it
great.
was
I'm so
great.
glad.
Yeah. That was a good movie
Yeah.
for what it was.
It was it I blame marketing because it definitely felt like this is a very obvious like ode slash pickup to like the Christopher Reeve
Christopher Reeve
movies.
Superman. Yep.
But I
Yeah.
don't think any like I think Batman Begins had just come out, and so I think everyone was primed. Was this even before Batman Begins? I can't remember. But I
Superman
do
Returns, I
remember
believe, was.
people.
I'm looking. I wanted to remember. Yep, I was right. 2006.
Okay.
Batman Begins was the year before.
Okay, yes. Because I remember a lot of people being like, oh, it wasn't what I expected. I'm just like, it was a Superman movie. Like, what did you expect? And
Yeah.
I think it was because people just like Batman Begins being like the real shift in like the tone of superhero movies from like kind of campy to like gritty and kind of real. That
Yeah.
like I feel like it did not really work the way that people were primed for it to.
Yeah.
And I blame marketing honestly for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how oh I had an example, but it doesn't really matter. But I feel
Okay.
like people weren't prepared for what they were going to get. But I thought it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
This-
notwithstanding the actor isn't really a good guy right now, but I think Kevin Spacey did a great job as Lex.
Oh yeah, he was a fantastic Lex, and like the this is also coming from someone whose favorite like Superman Batman comic is The Search for Kryptonite. So I
Okay.
love the personal side of like DC heroes because I feel like they get a lot of like, oh, they're super powerful and like have all of these massive cosmic problems to handle all of the time. And then like every once in a while someone will just sit down and write a story where both Bruce and Clark end up sleeping on the same sofa for some reason. And like that's great. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because somehow Lois is mad at both of them, and therefore they both have to sleep on the sofa. It's very funny, but
Okay.
it's I might be misremembering the exact reason for that, but they are both in the doghouse at that point, so
Oh boy.
it works.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah. I feel like I mostly agree with people in the camp of how like Ben Affleck was the best Batman that we have, and Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne that we've ever had. I
Interesting.
think. I think he did
Yeah,
it like just
I think.
in terms of that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd put them about the same level as far as like both. I think they both did a great job. Like they're portraying two different types of Batman.
Right.
So I feel like I mean, honestly, I haven't been disappointed in a Batman in a very long time. So,
I haven't either. No. I'm
and I
easy to
feel like
please.
I feel like the one Batman I'm disappointed in slightly, the guy who played him would probably agree with me. So, in as much as is George Clooney it's not George Clooney's fault. He did his best.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched that.
Oh, it's a trip. My friend and I watched it recently just for fun, and we're just like, there's so much going on in this movie. Oh my god, everyone looks like they're miserable
Oh my
from like
god.
the costumes and stuff like that. No one can move. But it's like watching the older like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies where like there are people in those rubber costumes just for like 12 hours a day, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone must have had a terrible time.
Yeah. No,
But
it just, if you get a chance, watch Superman and Lois because they're on their second season. So like the first season is all out. But it's
nice.
just interesting that how when you watch it, it is still like within the CW universe,
Mhm.
but each episode is shot like a movie. It's
Oh,
insane.
cool.
Like the quality of it is just very, very like high standard in my opinion. Like
I will check it out
I
for
very much enjoy
cinematography
it.
alone.
Yeah,
Cool.
like just him and Lois raising their two kids.
Oh,
They moved back to Smallville because they're both the kids are in high school,
oh no, I'm here
and one of
for
them
it.
developed powers.
Of course.
So yeah, it was great.
That's
Um,
awesome. I will definitely have to check it out then because it sounds like it's going to appeal to my soft, gushy center of my heart.
yeah, it might. I mean, somewhat of a tangent. We'll actually now get back into your amazing cosplays. But one of the one of the cosplays that I actually picked out that I
Hmm.
really enjoyed, like seeing a few pictures of, was you did the Bombshell version of Killer Frost.
I did, yeah.
So was it the design that caught your eye, or were you a fan of the character originally?
I'm not gonna lie, it was the design that caught my eye.
That's fine.
In as much as really, I really liked the challenge of trying to make something that kind of like the elements are so simple. So I was like, I can really try to nail like the details of this and like get like the shapes right and stuff like that. And I think I wanted to try to make like the what obviously would have been furry but is now icy. So like that was the first time I've spiked fake fur. That was fun.
Mm.
Um but no, I actually like didn't really get any background on the character until I watched The Flash. I'm like, "Oh. Oh, hey, look, it's Caitlin Snow. Oh no." Um, but since then I've encountered her a lot more. Like I read up through volume 7 or 8 of the DC Bombshells run. There's like
Oh,
relatively difficult to get my hands on like physical copies. Um,
yeah.
but she's in there and she's fun. She's uh diff- and this is the case with all comic writers or all comic book characters. They are the product of the people who are writing them at the time. So like sometimes she's written very complicated and sometimes she's written pretty straightforward where she will just kill you
Oh, that's
and that's
nice of
it.
her. Oh, that's nice of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think she's fun though. Like she has very good like fun villain energy. Like and I appreciate that cuz
It.
I think it's as a cosplayer it's fun to portray not that I ever really did too much in like the antagonistic side of things, but it's fun to have this in the back of your head like I am a Bond villain right now, and that's fun.
Okay. What was your She's primarily a villain to Firestorm, right?
I think she's primarily a Flash, or she started as a Flash villain, I
Oh,
think.
okay. I
And
did.
she's one
Yeah.
of those villains that can and will cross over. Um I think she started in Flash or was primarily in Flash for a while, and then Firestorm is obviously a good elemental counter to her. So it's fun to play the fire ice like dichotomy off of off of them as characters. So, and that's
Hmm.
honestly where I think she is more fun and like written more interestingly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it helps to have that sort of like inherent inherent foil to work with as a writer probably. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too terribly much about her or her runs in the comics. Just when I have
I don't
like
either.
seen her pop up, she's always been fun, at least. Maybe not the most interesting person in the room, but definitely the most fun.
Right, right. Um, did you did you already mention like your favorite part of working on that outfit, or like was it
Oh,
spiking the fur, or?
it was. I was just like, how? Okay, so this is obviously based on like fuzzy boots and like the like a fuzzy like winter hat, but it's ice in the art. So how am I gonna do that? And then I was just like,
Mm,
you can just spike fake fur like you spike wigs. Like it's the same. It's actually way easier. So I'm like, oh, it's just the same process. So
mm-hmm.
I'll just make it. I'll just do that. um,
Right.
so I did that, and I think it translated pretty okay on camera. It at least looked like frosty fur instead of ice, but it also just didn't look like a furry hat anymore. So it was pretty fun.
Absolutely.
My favorite part actually ultimately was making the tiny flash snow globe prop that I had for a while. It broke almost immediately after the shoot that I
Oh
had it for,
no.
but I loved it.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh.
Barry.
um. Okay. That's great. Um. Oh yeah. Like I guess I forgot to mention. So like I actually done Nightwing 3 times.
Nice.
He was my first. All of them were New 52 Red.
Nice.
I did his just straightforward cosplay as best I could. That
Mhm.
was my first cosplay, so I was just straight up cutting out the emblem in red fabric and
Oh,
hot gluing it to a black Under Armour shirt,
like you do.
like you do. Then I did my best, but it was not the best.
I mean,
Poor attempt at recreating his Injustice armor
ooh.
when Damien took on the role of
Mhm.
Nightwing, because
My son.
he was a dick and killed Dick.
Yeah. He gets better, don't worry.
I know. So I did that, but then my most recent and honestly favorite version I've done was with my dad when he was still around at the time. I
Mhm.
came up with a steampunk Nightwing
Oh,
version,
awesome.
and me and dad when he started going to cons with me,
Mhm.
and essentially became known as like cosplay dad throughout
Oh,
all the girls like Jessica Negri, like all these cosplayers that we've met over the years. Like he got into cosplay.
nice.
And so we did together steampunk versions of I was Nightwing, and he was the Riddler.
Nice.
And
That's
I'll have to
awesome.
tweet you a picture at some point
Yeah.
after the show. But that was a lot of fun, and he always rewore it. Um, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I love when I run into like at cons or something like parents who like have gotten into things or like grandparents who have gotten into things. There was an Uncle Iroh that we ran into uh
Oh,
when we were in Kyoshi Warriors, and he's like, "Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but my wife told me that I looked like this character, and we were gonna come to this event, so I just dressed up." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, you have to watch the show. You'll love it. You'll love the character that you're cosplaying." And then we
yeah.
met him again the next year, and he's like, "You were right. I loved the show."
Oh, that is the best payoff. Oh
It
my
was
god.
great because like the second year that we ran into him and he showed up, he gave all of us little White Lotus Pai Sho
Oh
tiles because he
my god.
had seen the show now, so he could like do like the character
He
stuff.
saw it in full, so he could properly do the character.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's so
and he's
awesome.
fantastic.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he gave us like tea bags,
Oh,
because that would have
that
worked
would
too.
that would have been. He did have a teapot with him, but he had the Pai Sho tiles in the teapot. But
Oh my god!
it was great.
I'm happy now. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
So I love hearing about like it's also nice as like a person who is incurably getting older that like it's just nice to see literally everyone cosplaying.
Yeah, yeah. Sadly, he passed away from cancer a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
I'm
But
sorry.
he, I mean, he was a nerd growing up because he was into, mostly Star Trek New Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Huge Lord of the Rings guy. Huge.
Yay!
Like I,
We would have had a lot to talk about.
I couldn't. I'm not into it as much as he and my brother were. I couldn't get into it.
Mm.
I appreciate what the movies did and what the world brought to a lot of people. But I mean, he actually started going like reading comics because of me, and he was a big fan of
Oh,
Batman.
yay! Good.
We actually have one of our favorite moments together that Dad would like to quote. It was one of our first New York Comic Cons.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't cosplay, but he went with me. We went to a panel. This was New 52 era when they were doing the Death of the Family event.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So it was you had the whole Batman slew of writers: Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Kyle Higgins writing Batman. I mean
Mm-hmm.
Nightwing, and they're talking about it. And at the same time, um, Avengers versus X-Men was running, like
Mm-hmm.
that whole event. So Scott comes up to the panel and he asks a simple question:
Mm-hmm.
Avengers versus X-Men, who wins?
Ooh.
Everyone yells Batman
Ah!
because duh.
Oh yeah. I mean, oh, what was it? Was it I'm trying to remember. There's an animated run of something where Batman just outwits Darkseid to the point where like Darkseid just kind of leaves. He's like, "Yeah, okay. You win this time, human," and then leaves. And I'm just like, "Yeah, that would be Bruce."
Yeah. So that was just a really funny moment that Dad loved to talk about and laugh over.
Aw, good.
Um, yeah, I mean he would read my Nightwing comics. He would collect Batman Kotobukiya statues of
Nice.
like Batman and like all the other Robins and
Yeah.
oh god, I miss him.
He sounds like an awesome dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you had met him, I mean we've still yet to meet, but I hope we do at
Yeah.
some point. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Jumping over to the cosplay that made me a fan of yours, your Trevor Belmont. Um,
Yeah. My grumpy
so
boy.
my grumpy boy. Was that because of the show that you? I would assume so, because you said you've never played the Castlevania games.
Yes. I was aware of them as a franchise, and I was aware like of the characters in them and the general kind of like some of the most basic story beats and stuff like that. But the show is what I have like the largest base of knowledge from. And I've like done some like internet digging into like the plot lines of the various games since, but the show is what got me. Um, and I was really not planning on cosplaying Trevor at the beginning because like
Hmm.
Sypha exists, and my partner and one of our really good friends that cosplays with us sometimes. I think we were all expecting me to want to cosplay Sypha, and then I got to the end of season one. And I'm just like, I'll cosplay the garbage man, please. I'll do that first, and then I'll do Sypha. So I did. I really liked Trevor. He was fun, and I really liked his design, and I really liked the idea of getting to make his weapons. I liked the idea of someone who fights with whips. Um,
Oh, you made his
and
whip.
yeah, I loved. It's funny. I actually made the Morning Star first,
Huh.
because I knew that was his weapon. Like that would be the identifiable weapon for him.
Mm-hmm.
So made it entirely from scratch, 3D modeled everything myself, printed it out, painted it, all of that jazz. And I'm very proud of it to this day. His name is Simon because he's my son. Um, but
Okay.
uh, after that, my partner ended up cosplaying Trevor, and he needed a prop too. But then I also still wanted to cosplay Trevor, so I needed a prop too. So I ended up making his like consecrated bullwhip from season 1.
Oh,
And I
okay.
wanted to make it so that it would be convention safe, but would still like act like a bullwhip. So I made it out of strips of EVA weather stripping, like you put around doorways.
Okay.
And I learned how to what is it, like 6-strand braid? However many strands would fit, I think, around the handle that I was using. But yeah, I learned how to braid a bullwhip out of EVA foam, and it actually,
Ooh.
I'm so pretty proud of how it like moves and stuff like that, and it's light as heck, and like you can't possibly hurt anyone with it because it would be like trying to snap someone with a pool noodle.
Mhm.
So I'm very proud of my convention safe engineering solution.
Nice.
Because most conventions won't allow bullwhips because you could legitimately maim someone with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Pro tip for all of the Catwoman cosplayers out there too: EVA weather stripping if you need a bullwhip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So the photos came out like phenomenal. Like,
Oh,
did you
thank
go?
you.
Did you like go on location to shoot them or?
Yeah, yeah. I think the photos you're probably referring to are the ones that are taken by my friend Inela, who, despite, or not despite, along with being a legitimately fantastic cosplayer, probably the cosplayer of whom I am a biggest fan, honestly. Um, she's also a very good photographer. There's a location near where we live that's just kind of like a bunch of old abandoned buildings, some of which are made of concrete brick, so they can look convincingly enough like old ruined medieval flavored town settings if you squint hard enough and like keep all of the background kind of bokeh out.
Okay.
So we're just like, that's probably the best we're going to get in a relatively modern area of uh of the country. So we headed out there and we took some pictures, and a lot of the smoke effects were courtesy of my poor partner running through the back of the picture with a bowl holding a like smoke bomb in it, like a waving it around like a priest waving around a censer in some sort of like service, and then running out again. So my poor partner spends most of his time doing pyrotechnics for me, and I appreciate it immensely.
Right.
But
Yeah, I'm just
uh,
looking. I'm looking through some of the photos right now,
oh
dated
well,
2019, if I got that
yes,
right. Um, man,
yep.
yeah.
But in the before times,
In the before times, yeah, I would. Oh yeah, I'm watching a video of you cracking the whip.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd let you beat me up. um, yeah,
Well,
that's
don't worry. It will feel like you're getting hit with a pool noodle.
okay. All right. Um, let me see here. So when we were previously like trying to set this up, trying to
Hmm.
narrow down a date, you said you wanted to wait a little bit to potentially mention or talk about this newest photo shoot that you did.
Yeah.
So,
Ironically enough, we ended up scheduling things to where I don't have the photos back from it yet, but I did do the shoots.
okay, so I guess tell me about what it was. What character did you end up like shooting, or?
Yeah. So kind of like you've done 3 iterations of Nightwing. This is probably the cosplay that I've had that has changed the most since I started making it. Because I have a cosplay that is currently Amaterasu from Okami. Uh
Ooh, okay.
and it actually started out as a different Okami style, like Gijinka from one of my favorite anime, and then I kind of stopped having the opportunity to cosplay with the rest of my group from that, and so I'm just like, well, what can I do, kind of on my own, as like a solo character? And then I was like, oh, well, I really like Okami, and Amaterasu is a white wolf god with red markings. So I'll transfer it to that. Because the character it was originally for was from Natsume Yujincho, and then was the character of Madara, who is a large wolf-ish, fox-ish creature,
Okay.
who is white with red markings. Um,
Mm.
so it translated pretty okay. I did make some design foibles based on my attempt to save money at the time and not completely abandon a project that I ended up not completing. So eagle-eyed fans of both Japanese traditional costuming and Chinese traditional costuming will notice that my cosplay is sort of a bastardization of formal kimono elements mixed with Chinese Hanfu elements. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I know what I did. I'm cheap, and I didn't mean to offend anybody if someone gets offended about it.
Oh, okay.
Just because some of the undergarments I repurposed are from my planned and then abandoned Rava Gijinka for the Avatar spirit from Legend of Korra.
Mm.
And with the Avatar setting being largely based on or aesthetically inspired by Chinese elements, it made sense that that sort of like uh, bracket of fashion would be what I would make a Rava cosplay based on. Um, but doesn't it looks good, but it's not a formal kimono,
Okay.
which is the stuff that I had originally based Madara and then Amaterasu on. But I am happy with how it looks because it looks very pretty.
Ah.
It's just a very very fantastical take on it at this point. I'm not going to be winning any historical points, that's for sure. But that's okay because I think it will visually look quite impressive.
I'm stoked to see it. Hearing
Well,
you talk
thank
about
you.
the process and like what went into the shoot and just all the
Yeah,
different elements. Yeah, I'm stoked to see it.
thank you.
'Cause I've never.
I'm very excited. Holly's an amazing photographer. Um, I there's literally never been a shoot that we've done that has not exceeded my expectations dramatically. So I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited. It's fun for me to get back into doing shoots. I have realized that I just really enjoy photo shoots, like planning them, executing them, sharing the pictures afterwards. The whole thing is just my jam.
Oh, interesting. So would you say that's your? Because one of the questions I was going to ask was, what's your favorite part of cosplaying?
Oh,
Would would
definitely.
would, would it be that like
Yeah.
screw the constructing? Let me just work my stuff and just go on a foot. That's your favorite.
Yep. I'm very uh I like making stuff fine. I like wearing it better though. um and I enjoy like this I enjoy photography from a technical aspect as well. I know enough amazing photographers. I've never felt the real need or desire to get into photography myself, but like I love looking at it and being a part of making it and working with people who are very skilled at it and stuff. So I and the thing where I feel like I can contribute the most is creating something cool for them to take pictures of. And that means like the set and the peripherals of it just as much as the costumes. So
Hmm.
my goal moving forward with cosplay, specifically, aside from hopefully getting back into going to conventions once the world is safe to breathe again, um,
Yeah.
but like my goal is to treat cosplay and like the shoots that I set up as like my form of like creating art. Like I could draw fan art, but like drawing isn't fun for me, unfortunately, because it would legitimately be cheaper than all of this. But like this is what I do to make art. So, for better or worse,
Right?
uh, this
Yeah.
is the process that I find fun. So, my goal is
So
to make bigger, better, more engaging photos.
yeah. Well, from all of that, it sounds like you really take an aspect in the process of like the photo shoot and the photography. Because I'm always wondering now that you brought this up, because you got me
Mhm.
thinking of like all the girls, all the cosplayers that I know when they do photo shoots.
Mhm.
Um, I'd like to think they have an idea on what vibe that they're going for, but is it like
Mhm.
I'm wondering like do the cosplayers alone take control of where they want the shoot go, or is it more so that the photographer has the whole thing in his mind and like had an idea on where he wanted this photo shoot to go? Like, is it possible that it's just like a 50-50 down the middle like collaboration, or
I think it depends on the cosplayer and the photographer and their collaborative relationship, probably, and how experienced both of them are. Um, because I know that there are, I and I really hope that this is because the photographers that I work with enjoy my creative vision and not just me completely bowling them over. But I typically tend to take the creative lead on a lot of the shoots that I do, typically because I'm also the one reaching out to set them up. Um, and I think that
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
if a photographer reaches out to a cosplayer to set up a shoot, like there's something that they want to photograph and the cosplayer has it, I would expect that the photographer would take the lead on like finding the location, like having a plan ahead of
for
time as
sure.
far as like the vibes and like the some of the shots that they want to get and stuff like that. And I think that it always helps if a cosplayer goes into or like if the other half of the equation goes into the project with some ideas of their own, because
Hmm.
I always think that every endeavor benefits from collaboration, from however many people are involved in it, because
Yeah.
you can never have too many ideas, right?
No.
I guess
No.
unless you're the type of person who gets overwhelmed, in which case you can definitely have too many ideas. But um, as
Are
long
you
as
one of
like
those people?
I'm close, honestly.
Close.
I
Okay.
am close. I was texting my uh I was texting a friend a while back and I'm just like, I have too many plans, man. Like I have too many things I want to shoot. I'm not going to get them all done this year. I'm not even going to get them done next year probably. And my friend was like, you are I'd like to think you're going to live more than 2 years, so you've got time. I'm like, I know, but I want to do them all now.
Oh yeah,
uh
ain't that the truth? Yeah.
Making stuff takes so much time.
Yeah.
But uh I am very, and honestly, like I would much rather have that problem than my previous problem where I just wasn't inspired to work on anything, or felt so pointless in my community that I didn't want to work on
Oh.
anything. Eh, I'm sure everyone experiences with far greater frequency than they'd like to admit. But
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you're not pointless to me. I mean, I love your
well, thank
stuff.
you. I, I am legitimately happy to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm
Um.
just. No, it's just funny because I'm just flipping through your Instagram right now, and it's like, oh,
Oh.
yep, the spiked up in Killer Frost, and
Yep.
oh yeah, rest in peace, Barry Snow Globe. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh God,
I'm
that's.
so happy we got that close-up picture of it. Holly was very
Yeah.
accommodating. I'm just like, can you please get this in a shot because I love it very much.
Yeah.
um. So.
Oh, you did. Oh, you look adorable as Boozette. Booette.
Oh, thank you.
However the hell you pronounce Boozette. Okay, you know that's how it's spelled. Okay.
Yep.
Was that one of the ets that you just had to cosplay?
It was really cute, and we had just decided like a week or two beforehand that we were gonna go down to KomoriCon for a day. which is like Oregon's primary like anime convention.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just like, well, what's quick? What's quick that I can do?
What
And I
quick? Ooh.
saw like what would be relatively quick to construct. And
That's
I
quick?
saw
Damn.
yeah, relatively.
Well, what-
Um we found the crown 3D model and printed it out, and then I 3D modeled the gems for the gloves and the choker real quick, and printed
Mm.
those out and painted everything as fast as we could, and then made the skirt real quick, put everything together, and embellished everything, and then was like, okay, ready to go.
Oh man. And I'm just just scrolling through and okay. So, and I mean I'm not even who do you ship dick with the most?
Oh God, I mean, definitely Babs, but
I'm
that's
I'm I'm willing to vouch on that just because of especially like the story that I've read, like the comic that I've read where they're
hmm
both featured, it just seems like they have just much more history and a closer
yeah,
connection.
they're close, and like they just, even when they're not together, they love each other, and I think that that is apparent.
Oh,
And
very
I think
apparent.
that that
Yeah.
is like, also someone brought up a good point once in argument to someone who's just like, well, isn't Dick just like a bad person because he like dates around so much, and like he has never cheated on anybody. Like he has always like legitimately been gone like both like dove head into every relationship that he has been in, and like
Yeah.
it has always like run its course and ended sometimes amiably, only a few times poorly, I feel like, thankfully. But like it's because everyone, all of Dick's exes still are friends with him mostly. Like Helena is like one of his besties and they used to date, and
yeah.
like now they're just friends. Like everyone ends up staying friends with Dick Grayson. And I feel like that says a lot about him.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, to me, I just feel like the Dick and Corey pairing, just like, it's a sexy pairing, that's for sure. I mean,
Sure,
they're both good
sure.
looking people. Like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just came across your Starfire profile. I was like, yay!
Oh yeah. I
God,
loved
that wig is gorgeous. Holy
oh,
smokes.
thank you. I originally got it for a Rapidash Gaijinka that I never did, and I saw Gabriel Piccolo's art, and I'm just like, oh, I know what I could use that for.
Okay.
I just have like a literal Rubbermaid tub of wigs sitting in storage, and I'm just like, I will use these someday. I mean, some of them are like wigs from cosplays that I've retired and stuff like that, and like this is a perfectly good wig. I will use
Mm.
it again.
Mm.
But yeah, no. I think that Dick and Corey are a good couple and they have a lot of really good story beats, but ultimately like it's Babs. It's Babs for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there. I'm just like quickly watching your most recent Instagram post, which was like a BTS of
Oh yeah.
your Amaterasu shoot. Yeah,
Mhm.
holy, that's a lot of floof.
It is a lot of floof. It is, to be precise, 7 garbage bags and 1 large box of floof. If anyone else in the Pacific Northwest is doing a cloud photo shoot, I got you, boo. Please.
Enough pillow floof to consume anything we dropped in it. Yep,
It's
okay.
true.
That's what, yeah, that definitely had been featured. Yep.
One of my good friends made me really gorgeous false nails for the shoot. Like uh she asked me what I wanted and I'm just like, go full on Chinese maximalism, like as much embellishment as you feel like.
Ooh.
Um so because if you wander through anything tagged Hong Fu on Instagram, it's just like it's so painterly and maximalist and it's a very distinct uh amount of style and elements,
Mm.
and I love it. It's legitimately pretty, so that's why I wanted to part of the reason why I wanted to emulate that type of shooting for this outfit. um but one of the nails popped off in the middle of the shoot, and we like
Uh-oh.
instantly lost it in the
Oh.
cloud fluff. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no.
We found it again, thankfully, but it did take a while.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, you
Yep.
did find it. Okay.
Yep.
Um, so you had mentioned how you feel like you just recently like got your like creative like surge or like flow going.
Yeah.
Do you think that the pandemic had anything to do with that?
Um, I think that it was a convenient excuse for me to stop for a
Okay.
while.
Okay.
I had so back in 2019 I went to Fanime was my last convention that I went to.
Mm.
Um and I didn't have a good time. It was the first time I had gone to a convention and legitimately felt more stressed than I had fun
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry to
And
hear
it
that.
yeah, it's I feel a little bit confused still about why that was, because it wasn't the convention's fault or anything, and
Oh, you don't know
I,
why.
I think it is largely because just because you get asked to do something or you feel like doing something would be popular or something like that isn't a good enough reason for me to want to put in the effort to make things. Cuz my in 2019 I did probably my most popular projects, and I think that I am the least proud of them. um
Hmm.
Trevor Trevor withstanding. I love Trevor. But in 2019, I did and I feel all of this is predicated on the fact that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the fandoms or the cost or like the designers or like the costumes themselves or anything. Uh, but like I just didn't have fun cosplaying them, and part of the reason I think was because I was doing it because I figured they would be popular. Like my Savannah Alexandra like pinup version of Mercy that I did, like like retro Mercy. um I did it because I thought that the design was really cute, but I also kind of did it because I knew that Overwatch was popular and probably people would like it, and they did. It's the most popular thing I've ever done, but it's also the thing I'm the least proud of because I just kind of did it for the likes, honestly. And I was really disappointed in myself because of that.
Oh, okay.
Partly because,
I'm
like,
like scrolling. I'm scrolling down your Instagram trying to find it.
yeah, it's. I honestly might have removed it just for like mental health reasons. Just because every time I see it, it's not something that
Fair
I
enough.
feel happy looking at, which is awful because the photos of it are really good. The
No, I.
photographer was really sweet and did an amazing job. Like they're really good photos. It wasn't the right project for me. And like Savannah Alexander's a really good character designer. Like I love her stuff. It just wasn't the right project for me. So I'm going into. I also did Myrcella Baratheon from Game of Thrones that year, and that's another one that like I did it because I wanted to be a part of um like other cosplays that my friends were doing. I didn't do it because I wanted to do that project necessarily. So that's another one that I look back on it. I'm just like, this was just not what I wanted to do at the time. Um, so moving forward, I'm trying to be more honest with myself about like if I'm going to make things, is it something I actually want to do for myself? Or am I trying to do it for popularity or
You're
just
trying to
so I
chase
don't
that
feel
clout. Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
understand. Yeah,
and like
completely.
or am I just doing it because I don't want to feel left out? Um by like my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Um and I think that that's a very funny lesson for a 29-year-old to learn. but I I think that people like hit that sort of question in their hobbies or their professional pursuits or their creative pursuits or whatever, like at certain points in their lives, and 2019 was mine.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting that you brought that up. Where I mean, there were times early on in my the podcasting show that I was just hopeful that something would hit and that I'd get a lot of popularity or just like numbers would go
Yeah.
up.
It's
And I mean, I gave up on that. Specifically, I gave that up on Twitch
mhm.
because I would see like the numbers of like who's viewing
Mhm.
my stream, and then sometimes while I would stream, like no one would show up, and that would
Mhm.
bum me the fuck out.
Yeah. It
So I
sucks.
just took out like the viewers panel on my little
Yeah.
software that I use, so that I don't look at it anymore. I don't
Yep.
see it,
I
and
disabled being able to view the number of likes on my posts on Instagram because I'm like, it's so much nicer if I can't tell.
yeah. But and then like same thing here. Like at this point, I just it's more just like doing this show makes me happy, and it
Mhm.
in some ways gives me like purpose in life.
Yeah.
That I just want to create content, and I feel like so far this has been a hit.
Mhm.
I've gone to conventions as a member of media
That's
representing my
awesome.
show.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing that again this year for PAX East.
Nice.
And I got to do that at PAX East the year shit hit the fan
Mhm.
right before the world went into lockdown. So
Yeah.
I got in there just in time.
Good.
But I mean, so that was that's honestly been a solid reaffirming that like the kind of stuff that um sorry, the work that
No
I do,
worries.
like it matters, and that people like
Yeah.
do pay attention and like enjoy listening to me babble on with whoever I have on as a guest,
Mhm.
whether it's we go on a 30-minute tangent about why we love Dick Grayson so much, and
Was it only 30 minutes?
yeah, I
Oh.
looked at the tracker.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Oh my God.
Staying on topic is not my forte.
It's okay. No, this was. I mean, like, I did research on you beforehand to get some notes, but I mean, I didn't realize that you were a huge DC fan. I guess I didn't
Yeah.
scroll through your work long enough.
Well,
But
to
then
be
just
fair,
hearing that Nightwing is your favorite character
yeah.
legit brings me so much joy. It like, yay, someone loves him as much as I do.
He is the bestest boy. That is for sure. There are many good boys, but Dick Grayson is the bestest boy.
Oh yeah.
Um yeah, I think I don't cosplay from comics very often because a lot of the uh garment designs specifically, not like the character designs, but like the garment designs aren't they are either challenges I do not want to take on or they are not interesting enough for me to really want to do. I loved Gabriel Piccolo's designs because they were just like street clothes and like fun looking. I'm just like, yeah,
That
teenagers
the
would wear that.
that the same artist that did the Raven design that you cosplayed from?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Uh
Nice.
yeah. So the like I enjoy typically civilian or like period like historical or like something with a very strong like artistic
Right.
aesthetic about it as opposed to like uh I guess like any I'm scared of spandex is what I'm trying to say. I'm
Okay.
terrified of spandex. There's a character that I would love to cosplay from Endwalker, but I would have to do a bodysuit for it, and I'm terrified.
Oh.
Big spoiler though, so I'm not gonna go
Okay.
into it.
Well, so honestly, first off, how you feeling overall? Like you still feeling good? Like you can go a little bit longer?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got I got another hour or so in me probably.
Okay.
My
That's
roommates are upstairs doing various things, so we're good.
all
My
right.
cats are asleep.
Yeah, so are mine.
Oh.
Well, one quick story. So like I felt lonely in my apartment. So my friend, my bestie, who came up with the original owner, smuggled in a cat
Illegal
that had to,
cats.
that
My
had to
favorite
be
type.
that had to be given. I mean, my place can have cats, but it's
Oh,
like
good. Okay.
but like they don't know, so like yay, my rent
Ah,
won't go up.
gotcha.
But
Yeah.
so I got her in December.
Mhm.
She was small. We're guessing 1 to 2
Oogie.
years old. I
Mhm.
set up a vet appointment for
Mhm.
her first vet appointment for like the end of the month. Apparently, maybe I was told she had all her shots,
That's
stuff like
good.
that. So
We
I
love
have her.
immunity.
I have what?
We love immunity here.
Yep. I have her. Named her Tifa, by the way,
Aw,
because
yay.
duh.
Of course.
So I have her. She eats a lot, and I know that. Well, no, I noticed that her belly was getting fat. Like, am I
Mhm.
feeding her too much? Cause like I give her like a quarter cup of food, and she acts like I don't feed her. Like she
Yep.
would legit jump up into my kitchen sink, try to get food scraps, go on the stove,
Oh.
try to get food scraps,
Mhm.
tear out the garbage bag and go through the garbage.
Oh my gosh.
So
You
I
have a
start
raccoon.
so I start feeding her more. Her
Mhm.
belly starts getting larger, and we've feel that like it's descended,
Oh,
so that she
yeah.
probably has parasites.
Oh.
Boy, was I wrong,
Oh.
because last Wednesday she was being very affectionate the night
Uh-huh.
before.
Mhm.
Wednesday morning, last Wednesday, she comes up and lays in between my legs as I'm
Mhm.
sitting down in a chair.
Mhm.
She starts breathing fast. And I'm
Uh-oh.
thinking, uh-oh. I look up the internet. It says respiratory issues. Great.
Mhm.
Potential early vet visit.
Mhm.
She starts leaking liquid. She's probably spraying. She's
Is
going to
she?
heat because she had a litter before I got her.
Oh. Did she have a
Fast.
litter after you got her too?
She got pregnant at some point before I picked her up. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that she was pregnant. She gave birth to 5 kittens
Oh my
last Wednesday.
gosh. You have so many cats now.
Thank God they're all going to homes.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I've got a home for each of them, and I'm keeping
Good.
one of them.
Oh, yay.
So
Are you naming it Eris?
no, actually, depending on the gender, I picked out either Riku or Kairi because Kingdom Hearts is my favorite
Oh,
gaming franchise of all time.
cute. That is perfectly acceptable. Very good choices.
Her original name was Tifa's original name was either Tifa or Kairi, but I'm like Tifa
Oh,
just feels right to me. So
yeah.
um, so yeah, like she's probably in the main living area. So I'm in my
Oh,
bedroom right now, but we got we transformed the box my PS5 came in into a box for the kittens.
oh, poor
So they're
mama.
they're just all sleeping,
Oh,
all 5 of them. If you
I'm
scroll through my
glad.
Twitter or Instagram, you'll find pictures
Gotcha.
if you haven't already.
I have been
Um,
so bad at scrolling through Twitter recently. I've
sure.
I've hopped on, seen something that upset me, tweeted about it, and then left. I've been very maladaptive recently. So I've been hanging out mostly on Instagram, but Instagram never shows me anything that I actually want to see. So no one that I actually follow. I I think last week, which would have been before she had the kittens, I saw you post a picture of Tifa and I liked it, but that would have been before you realized anything that was happening. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
the algorithm on Instagram is crazy. I follow
uh,
like 400 people. I see none of them. So
well,
if I've been
so
ignoring your stuff, I'm very sorry. It's not
no,
on
no,
purpose.
it's fine.
It
Instagram is Instagram. It is what it is.
it sure is something these days.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Very harmful to sex workers and all that stuff,
Yeah.
which is
It's not
sad.
yeah, I can't figure who is having a good time on social media right now, but it's definitely not me or anyone I know. Um,
Well,
but
so the reason why I was asking if you were okay, like if you could go longer, because I did promise you that as best we can, we would do a little bit of a tangent into Final Fantasy 14
yay! I'm
because
ready.
Well, it was funny because I just saw a recent tweet of yours where you said your partner wanted to get into MMOs with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you picked FF14, and
Yes,
as a result, it's now consumed your soul.
it has
Eh.
100%. I was it's funny because I kind of like I very easily slipped into a hiatus when it came to cosplay because 2019 was the year that Endwalker came out. And that was my first expansion release that I would have been there for because I started playing actually like kind of right after Stormblood released. I was
Hmm.
wholly unaware of this at the time, but I started playing like that had already happened and everything. My first like full purchase of the game was like the Stormblood pack.
Hmm.
So I remember like the login screen from that for years. Um and then so 2019 like going into it like my partner and I like sat on the couch and watched like the live letter when they announced like Endwalker and stuff like that. And so we just sat there watching Yoshi P and team talking just in Japanese for 7 hours and like trying to pick up any details we could and like tweet like watching Twitter for like tweets and I was watching Twitter, he was watching Reddit for like people who were doing their best to like translate as we went and stuff.
Okay.
Um because they weren't doing as many live translations for the live letters at that point. So because now we have like Aimee and other members of the team who do like live translations for the live letters, like pretty much all of them, I think.
Hmm.
At least the ones that are directed to JP and like US and EU servers. I think the Korean servers just had one today or yesterday. And obviously those weren't they were translated into Korean, but they weren't really for anyone else, I think.
Hmm.
Um, so maybe it was just an interview and not a live letter. But which are like the big press releases for anyone who doesn't play 14. Sorry,
Yeah.
using too much vernacular. But yeah, I again, I'm not a gamer. I have played
Okay.
I played a lot of like puzzle PC games when I was a kid. My parents were actually not fans of video games at all.
Ah.
So we never had any consoles growing up. We weren't really allowed to play when we
Oof.
went over to friends' houses or
Whoa.
anything. I grew up in a very conservative setting, which is all I will say on it. Because
I mean,
oof.
same.
Um, but sorry, go for it.
No, no, no. I mean, wait. We could play video games, but I mean, like, um, conservative values in politics, and
Yeah,
thank God I didn't follow in that footstep because whew,
yeah, yeah.
that's all we'll
I
say.
yep.
Um,
Same though.
back to
Um,
waifus and husbandos.
yep.
So then,
But
what do
the
you
hmm?
do? You play one character, or do you have multiple?
Oh,
Or
I
or no, I should say not really one. Well, maybe you do multiple characters. I was gonna say
I don't
multiple
have the time to
jobs.
have ult. Yeah, I don't have time to have usable alts. Let's say. So I have my one character. I have Aya, and she is uh she's the one that I do everything with, much to the chagrin of all of my friends who play on other servers and data centers. I'm
Okay.
very sorry. Um, but the yeah, I have a main. It is Paladin. It has always been Paladin since I realized that I hated dying easily. So I started off the game as a monk.
Ah.
And then I hit level 30 and realized that I hate getting targeted by things and dying all of the time. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back and be a tank. And I loved it because I could get smacked by pretty much anything, and I would have time to kill it without panicking.
Oh.
I have a lot of gaming anxiety, so
Oh God.
being able to at least not die while I'm figuring things out is very helpful.
Yeah.
Um, but it was very funny because for a long time I was playing kind of just to get by, like I cannot stress how casual of a player I was until I kind of hit the end of Stormblood. I sprinted through the last patch of Stormblood after finishing up Fanime after like we got back. Sprinted through the final patch of Stormblood for like doing the MSQ, and then had enough time to finish the Omega Raid tier. And then Shadowbringers came out, and it was all over for me.
And that's when I failed.
Yep. Like I since then, like we found like a really adorably supportive and like welcoming group of friends that we play with on our server, or like various other servers on the data center that we're on.
Good.
And so we have like a little community, and from that community we've like pulled in other people, and like we have like a savage raiding static. Most people in our group also like have other groups that they raid with and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
for me, I am too much into cosplay to spend the necessary amount of time that it would take for me to A, have multiple groups, or B, raid any more hardcore than I already am doing, which is still pretty casual.
Yeah.
I am the world's okayest paladin.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever be into. I mean, maybe we'll see how it goes if I want to try high level rating. I don't know if I'd want to.
That's fair. I do it because...
What race did you pick?
Mikote!
Yay!
They have the cutest animations. Yep, I started off as a Mikote. I fantasiaed once for April Fool's Day into a female Rogadin, and then I fantasiaed right back. I'm like, I need my ear wiggles.
Yeah. Yes, I started. My main guy is Dragoon.
Nice.
Because duh.
Yeah. That is my alternate job.
Yeah, you give me an option to play as a Dragoon, I am here for it. Cause
yep.
I think Kane was my first introduction to Dragoons. I was like,
nice.
Oh my god. That is still my. If I had unlimited time, skill, and money, I would make Kane full armor. Full
he
stop.
Has such a cool look. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love some of the gear from Endwalker. That's all I'm gonna say.
I heard there was Final Fantasy IV instances or like homages with the gear, and I'm like, so I started out in an Elizon.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the like paid version,
mm-hmm.
I realized there were dragon people. I was like, ooh, dragon people, dope.
Yep,
so I
and you hit level 50 and you get your free Fantasia.
Yeah, I Fantasiaed into a dragon person, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
So, it's been really great.
I'm so glad.
I had my first traumatizing moment on stream when, spoilers up to a specific point in Stormblood, because that's as far as you're gonna get.
That's fair.
When Horsefant died in Heavensward, and I was like,
yep.
Fuck no.
Yep.
Because he was such a bro. It's just like, dude.
This game will kill your friends.
Oh no. I'm not ready.
Oh god.
And then it was Edmond, like the main count. Yeah. The actor died recently, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And I was like, oh, he did a good job.
He did. We lost a dad, and it was. We
lost a dad. Oh my god! Yeah. How many more dads am I gonna lose?
Oh, sorry. That was a very, very poorly worded thing to say. I realize now.
Oh god, yeah, because we just lost. We just lost Meffred, and I guess just getting to know the guy. Apparently, we met him earlier. I don't remember. I don't know when. I don't know where. But it's okay. Yep. He's gone. I don't want to believe that Papalima is gone. So I'll keep it at that because you probably already know the answer.
I do know the answer. I will not tell you what it is.
Okay. What else? What else about the game do I enjoy? The music is phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
I was just like slightly geeking out because I would as I would have stream be on a starting soon screen and
Mhm.
as I'm booting up the game Endwalker would the title screen would kick in and then the movie would kick in.
Yeah.
And so it was just so awesome listening to the Endwalker main theme movie and hearing parts of the other expansions in the theme. I heard Heavenward and then I heard one part that I didn't realize it was Stormblood until literally when I got into the expansion pack and the battling kicks in and I'm listening to the song. I was like, wait, I just heard this. What the fuck? This is awesome.
Yep. It's very funny because we had I don't think any trailer has hit me as hard as the Shadowbringers trailer did. And to this day I still think it's my favorite just based on pure the amount of goosebumps it gives me. But Endwalker is really special cuz Shadowbringers would be cool if you didn't know what the fuck this game was. But Endwalker is cool because it's everything you've gone through as a player up to this point. So if you've played the game, I can't listen to most of the music from Endwalker without crying still. And I completed MSQ the week it came out.
Whoa.
So yeah, it was a lot of long days. I was very, very tired. Not nearly as tired as my partner. He stayed up 72 hours straight working on MSQ. He's like, now's not a good time to stop. I'm like, well, you're gonna sleep soon. He's like, maybe.
I'm trying to take my time with it, but I wanted to blast through ARR.
Yeah.
Get to Heavenward because everyone says that's when it's gonna start to get good.
Yeah, the end of ARR, the last. The first time you get the several cutscenes will play in succession. Better set aside time for it. When that first happens, shit gets real, and it just gets better from there.
With the Sultana and.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw hints of that in the Heavenward trailer. So when is this gonna happen? Oh.
Yep.
That's when it's gonna happen. Oh.
Yep.
That causes the whole expansion. Oh.
It does.
I mean, I've heard that Estinian makes a comeback in Endwalker, so I'm like, cool.
Whoa. I will not.
Don't say anything.
No, I will not say anything. God, it's so hard not to spoil things.
He was a dick, but he eventually warmed up to you, and
yeah,
which is cool.
This game is very good at using the characters that it has established. Because I enjoy writing that uses its resources, that doesn't just keep throwing new things at you all of the time when there's a perfectly good thing that has been established that you would like to see again probably. So this is a game that's very good at that, which is good because it's an MMO with 5 expansions, and it would be terrifying if you had to keep track of an entirely new cast every expansion, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot nothing ever feels old or stale. But it's always a treat when a character that you have met previously shows up again. You're like, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that throughout the game. Cause I feel I knew of FF14. I knew of its horrid first launch. I knew of
my partner played in 1.0. It was as dreadful as everyone says.
Yeah, nuking the server and whatnot. So I heard that Heavenward is when it gets good. Mm-hmm. Shadowbringers kicks it up a notch, and then Endwalker just makes you cry. But I'm either I wasn't paying attention at the time because I don't really hear anyone talk about Stormblood.
So, Stormblood is one of those expansions that gets an unnecessarily bad rap, I think, from a lot of players, in as much as it is a lot of setup. Um, but it is the reason
Oh.
why Shadowbringers is as good as it is. Because kind of like
Oh.
ARR kind of honestly gets a worse rap than it needs to a lot of the time because it's a setup expansion. Like it's the
Oh.
first
Okay, that makes
thing that
sense.
existed after 1.0. So it's setting everything up for you. And then Heaven's Word is kind of the payoff for that. And then Stormblood sets up a lot more stuff. And then Shadowbringers is the payoff for all of that. And then Endwalker is the payoff for literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting. So that's why.
so
Okay.
yeah, I think that the negative feelings that people have about Stormblood is just the fact that it is a lot of setup. Um,
I will keep that in mind then.
yeah,
That'll
so
probably make it enjoyable a little better. It's like
yes.
some people were telling me, like try to take time for some of the side quests, and I'm like, what side quest? Is there a side quest? What's a side
Oh
quest?
my gosh.
The blue quest? I don't know. I'll try to because I'm at this point just trying to blast through because I mean like I'm telling myself I got like 2 full expansions to get through.
Yeah.
Like
Do
I got a
definitely.
long haul. It's like
Yeah.
you attune yourself to the Aether current to like fly around. Bitch, I'm not gonna fly around. When I'm done with Stormblood, I'm done with Stormblood. I'm gonna fly. I'm not gonna fly in Shadowbringers. No, I'm gonna fly in Endwalker.
I I never do ether currents until I finish the MSQ for an expansion. I'm just like, I am not going to take the time to run my ass around this map when I have people that I need to see.
So
Um,
like I'm not too far into MMOs because I'm a former WoW player, and so I
mhm.
gave FF14 a chance because everyone was raving about it
Yeah.
so friggin' much with Endwalker nearing its launch, and
Mhm.
then you had Activision Blizzard being a god shitty awful company, and then the
Yeah.
mass exodus of WoW players went to FF14,
Mhm. And then the
and
servers melted.
yeah, and then I took part of the free trial, and then I am so far very thoroughly pleased with it,
I'm so
and
glad.
just I
I
mean,
am
it really is. Like people have said, like WoW is an MMORPG. FF14 is an RPG MMO. It's mostly a single
Yep.
player experience
Yep.
with the ever so inclusion of queuing up for dungeons
Yep.
every now and then.
Final Fantasy XIV is a Final Fantasy game first. So if you like Final Fantasy, you will instantly like this. If you are used to Western MMOs, this will be a different experience for you.
Mm,
But I still strongly believe that it will be a good experience, just different.
yeah.
But um the yeah, God, I love the story in this game so much. Like this I started playing 14 because it was the prettiest MMO that existed at the time. I
Okay.
stayed playing 14 because I fell in love with the characters first and then the story deeply after that.
Yeah.
Because I, like, obviously, when you're level 5 and running around killing ladybugs to level up, like, you don't feel very special. But, like, um, I started in Ul'dah, and kind of stayed there because I started with Monk and then switched to Gladiator slash Paladin. So
Mm,
the Scion that I met first was Thancred. Um, and finishing up Endwalker, like he is of the adult Scions because I adopted the twins, they're my children now.
yeah.
These are mine. I love them both. But like among the scions, like Thancred is the one that like was is my oldest friend in the game. So like it's funny to have that kind of like the way that you have relationships with people. Like they might not be your closest friend, but they're your oldest friend and you know that they get you even though like you might not have as much to talk about with them or something.
Mm,
Like that's that's my relationship with Thancred Waters.
yeah.
And like everyone will have over the course of the game probably like these weird attachments to side characters and like people you only meet from one quest and stuff like that. But that's because like they're like weird. They're just weird little guys.
Mm,
Like they feel like people and like that's it's nice to have that experience inside of an MMO because I feel like I actually tried I tried WoW twice
Yeah.
And I played for about like 5 hours each time, and it was not for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like, completely aside from my feelings on Activision and Blizzard, which parentheses are very negative, but and like this is not to say that I think that Square Enix can do no wrong, because they absolutely can. I think that the team that Naoki Yoshida runs is amazing. It itself is probably not without its flaws, but I think that he as a producer is fantastic, and Square Enix should be fucking lucky that they have him. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
started I started out in Gridania, and
oh, so you
I
got
I got
Ida and
Yida and
Papalimo
Papalimo,
then. Yeah.
and the just music gave me severe whiplash nostalgia for like
Oh.
just the early, like I mentioned before, I'm not big into Lord of the Rings, but I am
Mhm.
instantly thrown into like the starting like motions of like the Fellowship because
Mhm.
of the music and like the Hobbit music. It's just like
Yep.
this severe whiplash. It's like, oh, I feel at home here for some reason,
Yeah.
and like,
Gridania is very Rivendell-ish.
yeah, yeah, it's I mean, like I just felt like that was a natural point for me as an elf at the start because
Mhm.
I was elves through and through in WoW during my time in WoW.
Yeah.
I
They're
did
classic.
the very start. I was a night elf hunter.
Mhm.
Then I switched sides, went to the horde, and was a blood elf paladin, and then I had a blood elf mage.
Blood elves have very cool
Um,
fashion sense.
yeah, and like all just the woods, the scenery of like for
Yeah.
the night elf, for the blood elf, they were just very meaningful and like very important to me. And I think Gridania hit that on all fronts.
I'm glad.
And I was just grinning like an idiot the entire time I was walking through this whole starting area and just
Yeah. The
I'm
shroud
trying
is
to.
very pretty for like that area.
Oh yeah, yeah. I will not have its moments for
It
sure.
is the Chicago of Eorzea.
And I could give two shits about Limbs of Lominza. I'm sorry. That
Oh,
was a bland. I'm sorry. It's a bland area.
it will get better, I promise.
Okay.
I think that
Were you the same?
I think that I liked Merlwyb the least out of the city-state leaders at the beginning. She is now my favorite. Um,
Ooh.
she gets some fantastic character development in
Interesting.
Shadowbringers.
Interesting.
I'm
Ooh, in Shadow.
Because
Ooh,
like
okay.
back in ARR, she gets her ass handed to her by Y'shtola for like the way that they treat the beast tribes around, and very rightly so. And I'm just like, this Limsa problematic, yo. Um,
Yeah.
but and I think this is a good example of a point that I always enjoy making about this game, is that it cares what messages it is trying to tell you with the stories that it tells. Like,
Mm.
and sometimes I think that people think that it is preachy, maybe. But like, I feel like the writing team cares about the lessons that it tries to get you to take away from playing the story. And I really appreciate that, because I feel like they typically handle things really well. And you see a lot of development and like examples being made through people's like character arcs and stuff like that, and it's really nice. I like feeling like there's something more than just a plot behind the games that I play, but there's like a moral, I guess.
Yeah.
And that might have something to do with like the fact that I too was raised on Star Trek Next Generation, so I have a lot of respect for like things that try to make salient points to its audience about like struggles that are being experienced or have been experienced for centuries sometimes.
Yeah.
um so like It's nice. It's nice to have like some philosophical meat behind my video game.
For sure. I
What did
mean,
you? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask your opinion on Lise, since you are to that point.
I
To be fair, you barely
it,
spend any time with her, I guess, so it's not really a fair
I mean,
question.
I don't have. I mean, like I spent her time masquerading as her sister. That was a little bit
It's
of an
true.
interesting shock twist.
Yeah, I was a
Um,
little surprised.
she's fine. I don't know
That's
why I feel weird saying that because I spent with her. I mean, she was just I don't know. It's like I did. She's masquerading as her sister,
mhm.
but I spent the longest time with her as her sister, and it's like
Mhm. So you don't really know what's her and what's like the put on stuff,
that's
right?
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like yeah, like I'm just getting to know who Lise is for at the
Mhm.
first time, and it's she she's not. I mean I'm warming up to her.
That's fair. I'm so
I
sorry.
don't
It's
I
a bit of
don't.
an unfair question.
Yeah, I'm warming up to her. I mean, like cute outfit, that's for sure.
Yeah. Lise
Um,
is like my big sister in the game. I I like her a lot, and I think she gets a bad rap, and I don't really understand why. And I think that it just has to do with she's one of the primary characters in Stormblood, and everyone kind of has a weird opinion about Stormblood.
yeah.
So I hope I hope that you have a good time with her because I really like when people like Lise.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. I mean, I will say that considering that Yoshi P and his, I guess, development team or something related to that is in charge of FF16.
Yes, he is.
Um,
He's helping produce it, I think.
that
Or
was
is
his
he
role in.
directing it? I think he's
I
producing it. I can't remember.
I am looking it up, but I mean, like, I got faith in him so
Oh yeah, me
far.
too. Anything that Business Division 3, which is their like it's their section of the of Square Enix. Anything that they touch, I'm just like complete confidence. Even if it's not what I'm expecting, I'm sure it'll turn out well.
Yeah. Let
So,
me see here. Set in the fictional land and blah blah blah. Produced by Yoshi P.
yep.
Directed by Hiroshi Takai. I don't know who that is.
Okay. I'm not I'm not familiar. I can't tell if I'm familiar with the name because he's attached to 16 or if it's because he's directed something else that I am aware of.
His name isn't highlighted in Wikipedia, so I got nothing on him.
Okay. Ooh, a new
And
kid.
I mean, it's Creative Business Unit 3, so isn't that the
Mhm.
same people that made 14?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they're a larger unit, so it'll be interesting. I love the fact that the 14 community just kind of adopted 16. It's like, look, our little brother.
Yeah. I mean, like I would watch like one YouTuber slash streamer that I follow. Like she's also big into 14, and I'd watch her reaction clips to Shadowbringers, an event in Shadowbringers. So it's like I
Mhm.
don't call it spoiling because I already forgot what the fuck happened.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I'll get to realize or view some of the stuff that I guess was in the videos for the first time.
Mhm. You'd be like,
Um.
"Oh, that's what happened."
Oh yes.
Mhm.
I imagine Minfilia is coming back at some point, so I'm like I'm not too worried about her. I don't know. You know the answer. You don't have to
I
say
do know
anything.
the answer, and you will not get it out of me.
Okay, I heard. I will stop right here.
No,
I
one
mean,
of my
I think that was the was is Stormblood the first time we've seen Xenos?
yes, he
Like
is
we've
introduced.
encountered him.
Yes, he is introduced in Stormblood, so
Okay.
you would not have run into him beforehand.
I mean, he's in the Endwalker trailer, so I was like, well, I'm
He
gonna be
is,
seeing this
yeah.
fucker for a long time.
Um, you will run into him at several points during the game. Not all of them will be in ways that you expect. So,
Oh,
uh, I
fun.
will leave that as open-ended as I possibly can because
Okay.
boy was I surprised when when things happen. So,
I all I know is that this girl that I watched with reactions, she's obsessively in love with Graha. So I know he comes back
Same,
at
bitch,
some point.
same.
I know he comes back at some point. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't remember. It's good for me.
Yes.
I mean, I guess Urianger becomes more prominent because I feel like
He does.
I just feel like he's always in the background.
He is. It's
I mean,
very
he
funny.
did that temporary like flip to the bad side, but
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really. I don't know because I want to see more of him and his little Shakespearean mannerisms and
Urianger is the surprise high point of Shadowbringers. Like you'll get a bit more of
God
him
damn.
in Stormblood, but he shines like a diamond in Shadowbringers. I love Urianger. He's such a nerd. I adore him.
Uh, I mean, everyone views Y'shtola as a waifu, and I can understand
Mm-hmm.
why.
I think
Uh,
Y'shtola is the scion that I'm the most scared of.
okay,
Like,
I believe it.
I realize that Thancred probably has the highest likelihood of murdering me successfully without me noticing, but I would see Y'shtola's coming and I would not be able to get away from it. Like there's not a single thing I could do to stop her from
You
killing
would
me if
just
she wanted
stand there in
to.
horror.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
No,
Uh,
they're all fantastic.
I mean, like just hearing, I mean, like just occasionally just rewatching the Endwalker trailer and
it's so cool.
thankfully not knowing what the hell's going on. They all go to the moon. Woohoo, moon.
The moon does happen.
I am somewhat turned on by Alize's voice. I don't know why, but
Her voice actress is so lovely.
it's very good. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm excited to have her get more screen time.
Oh, that's going
I
to
mean,
happen a lot sooner than you think it will, too.
oh, cool.
You will get more acquainted with her very shortly.
And then, I mean, Alphino is just Alphino.
He's my boy. I
He's
love
sweet,
him.
sweet cinnamon roll boy.
Like
Oh my god.
his character development has been the one that makes me the most proud
Mm.
over the course of the entire game, obviously, like starting with ARR, just because like he was such a sarcastic shit in ARR. Like
Yeah, I
like
fucking remember. Yeah.
I deeply appreciated him as a character because he was also the only one moving the goddamn plot forward. But like he was so sure of himself. And then
Yeah,
all of Heavensward happened. I'm just like, I get,
and then his world came crashing down.
yep. Cause like instantly when all of that happened, I'm just like, I admit that you set yourself up for failure, but I will hurt whoever hurt you. Like he's
um.
my ride or die. Like if I had to pick
Yeah.
someone from the cast who was like my partner, it like in like a professional sense, it is Alphino.
Yeah. Um. Other standout characters that I'm aware of. Ilberd's a piece of shit. Thank God
Oh
he's
my
dead.
god. Ugh. My one of my friends who started playing in Shadowbringers accidentally in character creator made Ilberd and he showed up the first time and we're like, dude, we will buy you a Fantasia right now. You have to change. He accidentally made him like perfectly like haircut, hair color,
Oh my god.
all of that jazz. I'm just like, sir, you need to change. You at least get a haircut. He's like, what? I don't understand. And like, well, you will. So like,
Wait, what?
he
He
finished.
just did he made the character like randomly?
Yeah.
He
So
didn't
it's
know
very
who the character was?
nope. So it's very funny. All
What
of
the
Ilberd's,
fuck?
just like you can make a like perfect recreation of Thancred in character creator, you can also make a perfect recreation of Ilbert in Character Creator.
Okay.
There are very few people that you cannot make perfect recreations of. I think the twins stand out obviously because you can't make elves and children, and they also have very specific like custom faces.
Mm.
You cannot make a perfect recreation of Emmerich. He is
Oh my
actually
god.
he's actually an Aura character model, like face, with no scales and with Ellison ears.
Okay,
On like
no,
an Ellison body.
I mean, maybe it'll change, but as of right now, Emmerich is my ride or die. He's a
He's
fucking
great.
bro. Oh
He's
my
also the
god.
prettiest person in
He's
Eorzea.
so pretty.
He's so pretty. Um,
Oh
he's
my god.
fantastic too.
I adored him, and once Harshavan died, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, don't do Emmerich, please. No.
He, if you would like a mild spoiler, he's still in one piece at the end of Endwalker. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, you can't recreate Lucia either because you cannot make Garleans.
Who's
So,
Lucia?
Lucia is Emmerich's right hand.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I had a brain
Yeah.
fart. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so like there are specific. Also, you can't do Sid or Nero or any of the other Garleans, but
Oh, okay.
you can do both Sid and Nero's haircut though. Every time I find them in Character Creator, I'm just the Nero.
Oh yeah, I'm at. Yeah, I know who Nero is. Why am I having a brain fart? I mean, he definitely reeks of. I'm not done seeing you yet.
Yeah, he will pop up again and again and again. Anything Sid does, he has to do better and twice as fast. So, I love Nero. Nero is like he's such a shit. He's taken over the is a little shit character from Alphino, and it's so good.
I feel like just based on what I know of Nero already, if I had to make a comparison, he's Loki.
Kind of, yeah.
To me,
Except that
he's a little shithead.
He's very easy to figure out because his motivation is will this annoy Sid? Yes, I'll do it. So like it doesn't matter if it's helping you or hurting you. If it's the thing that Sid is working on, can he do it better than Sid? And if the answer is yes, then he'll do it.
Like I saw shades of that when they were trying to get the Omega weapon online.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It will like there is a more nuance to him than that. Also why I recommend doing the Omega raid tier, at least just for the story. Because you will see it has probably my favorite fights of the whole game in it, like mechanically speaking, like doing the fights are just a joy.
Mm-hmm.
But also the story is very good and cute, and it has a lot of Sid and Nero in it.
Omega raid tier.
Yep, it's the raid tier for the Stormblood expansion. So you will unlock it after you hit level 70, or you'll have the chance to unlock it after level 70.
Oh, okay.
So that will be coming up for you.
Is that something that's like in every expansion, like a raid tier story or whatever?
Yes, actually, they have done that every expansion since ARR. They have had one Alliance raid tier and one raid tier, just raid tier, I guess. So
okay, so I obviously must have missed them because at this point I'm just like blasting through MSQ.
That's fair.
I don't have time to do these raids or whatever the hell.
That's totally fair. I would recommend stopping to do Omega because it will enhance the flavor of everything that comes after that. Because spoiler alert, no side content in this game stays side content. It will eventually become plot relevant. But they've done a pretty good job of making sure that you have a pretty good idea, that you're not able to skip anything important anymore. Except for I think the Omega raid tier. That's why I always bring it up to people. I'm like, it will feel better when you hit the end if you have done the Omega raid tier first. Because there's some important story in it that will make everything cooler when you get there.
Yeah. I just find it hilarious how, like, at this point, there are some days, so, like, I stream FF14, mostly 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I play it, but then it's just, and, like, I have set limits. Like, I'll either I can usually go for 2 hours, or if I'm feeling hyper, I'll go longer. But then, like, my Fridays, as of now, are I do an hour of Final Fantasy 14, and then the rest of the stream is I'm working through the Guardians of the Galaxy game on PS5.
Oh, nice!
It's fantastic. Oh my god,
I have heard good things about it.
The writing is hilarious.
I'm glad.
But it's just so funny. So, like, I have an hour limit on FF14, and it's just hilarious how sometimes that hour is just nothing but cutscenes and running around and no fighting at all. I was like, oh, that's the hour. Time to switch.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. It's just funny.
The game really wants to tell you its story, and it will take the time to do that.
It's definitely the Final Fantasy part of it. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, did you play 15 at all?
Did I play 15? You looking at the screen right now?
I'm tabbed. Oh! Oh, that answers my question. Prompto is adorable, by the way. Good choice.
Again, I went with his casual outfit sans jacket because I'm not gonna make that goddamn jacket. Are you kidding me?
That's fair.
I will take any easy route in a Tetsuya Nomura design.
That's very
bar
fair.
None.
Also, those boys are so fancy. Like,
he's
some of them are legitimately...
with belts.
Yeah.
What sucks is I think I gained COVID weight and those pants don't fit me. I threw them away.
It's okay. As soon as we all get to moving again, it'll go away.
So I'll have to buy the pants again. But, like, I still have the wig. I still have the tank top.
Nice.
That is next to Steampunk Nightwing. That is the other common cosplay that I will wear.
Nice.
Because it's so easy to wear.
Well, I'm glad.
And, like, I do have a Polaroid camera as a prop.
Yes. You have to, right?
And I do take Polaroids of people and give them as memories to them.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, like, Prompto was such a good this is a total tangent and not why I brought it up, but, like, I love the fact that, like, they made a character that encouraged you to, like, play the game differently, and I love that. Which, swinging back around to my original tangent, the Final Fantasy 15 crossover inside 14 is a gem, and the next time it comes up, because it will come up again, I think you'll really enjoy it.
I think you know what? I think it's because I was underleveled that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
I can't beat the finale of that small quest line with fighting Garuda.
Oh, really?
And utilizing the warp strike. I can't do it because I think I was too low of a level at that time.
Huh. I had a real rough time with it the first time I tried to do it too. So don't worry, there will be another opportunity, and you will be a more experienced player.
I'll try to just grind out the Magitech supplies to get that damn car.
Oh, I think do you have to unlock it first? Because I know you buy the car with MGP.
Yeah, but you got to do the quest line to unlock the car.
Oh, right, that's true.
So I haven't done it because I'm stuck on Garuda.
That's fair. I completed the quest line back in the day, but I was too busy prepping for my first fanime when it came out to get the MGP in time to buy the car. Oh. So I had to wait for 2 years for it to come around again. Just like, give me my car.
Oh.
But everyone else flexing on me, the scrub who was too busy cosplaying to buy a car.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So then I take it that you're very familiar with Final Fantasy as a series.
You would think that actually, but
Oh,
14
I'm
and
wrong.
15 are the only ones that I've actually played. I have started 6 3 times and got interrupted 3 times, and I've never been able to get past the first area.
Oh no.
Um, I keep getting encouraged to play 6 by my partner though, because it's his favorite. And I do intend to play it. I don't know when I will get around to doing that, but the Pixel remaster is coming out, so maybe that'll be a good excuse
Oh yeah, it
for
is.
me
It
to sit
is.
down and
It
do
is.
that.
Um,
But
15, 14 are the only ones you played.
mhm.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I'm addicted to gap closers now. Thank you, Noctis, for Warp Strike. Oh man,
Um.
which sucked
Hmm.
because Paladin doesn't get a gap closer until level 73.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine you're open to playing the other entries at some point.
Oh, for sure. It's just a matter of managing my time and
Right.
honestly feeling motivated. That is a thing that I usually rely on other people playing video games
Mm-hmm.
for me or next to me. So either Let's Players or if my partner is playing a game that I am interested in, then I will sit next to him and work on whatever I'm working on and then watch him as he plays through. I started my own playthrough of The Witcher 3, but
Ah.
honestly, it was more fun for me to just watch him play through it because I am bad at video games and he is not. So I'm in anything that I consume, I am in it for the story necessarily.
Yeah.
It's very funny that I got into like end game rating in 14 because that's the first time I've done anything purposefully difficult that really it doesn't give you more story. It just gives you dyeable gear. So I guess fashion
Yeah.
first, cosplay first, video games second.
No, so I mean, like, so my personal favorite Final Fantasy is the first one that I've ever played and beaten, and that was
Mhm.
10.
Ooh.
10 is fantastic. There are some very hilarious, memeable, cringy scenes, but it is like the combat is great. The story is fantastic. It'll make you cry.
Oh.
The music is, as always, it's a standout. I mean, if you have the time and energy, like if you happen to find the time, I would highly, highly recommend getting the 10-10-2 HD remaster somewhere.
Ooh, okay.
That is my all-time favorite. Um,
I think that
I
like
would I would go on point to recommend 4 since you played through Endwalker.
I would love to play 4. Um I think that like narratively it would be a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Um, 7, I think is an obvious
Yeah.
like.
I feel like I have to play 7 like at some point. Even if I don't want to, I have to play 7.
Yeah, yeah. Stick to the original first, and then if you want to try your hand at the remake, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay. I watched a friend of mine stream a good chunk of the first like block of the remake.
Mm,
It's really pretty.
it is really
So
pretty.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything past like the middle section of that. I'm actually very bad at watching streamers. I feel so bad because I have so many lovely, lovely friends that stream, and I'm always like so easily distracted, or I will just like sit upstairs doing whatever I'm working on at the time, and I'll like let my phone go to sleep, and then miss like an hour and a half of whatever was happening. It's like I'm so sorry, I'm back. I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some days I will spend the entire day watching my friend stream. Because some friends will stream like for like 8 hours, which
Mm-hmm.
is insane. I don't have that energy at the moment.
I can't fathom, honestly.
I can do 2 to 4 hours at max,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it. I'm drained.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm enjoying 14, and I'm very much looking forward to the long, long road that I have ahead of me.
I'm so glad. You
Um,
keep that quote in mind. It will come up again, actually. You've made yourself plot relevant at this
oh
point.
shit.
No,
Yeah.
this game cares about your feelings and your mental well-being, despite what it demonstrated in Heaven's Word with how it treats certain characters. But this game cares
And
about
like,
its players, and that's an interesting thing to experience.
and like, I feel like, I mean, like we mentioned that, like, this is a Final Fantasy game first, and
Mm-hmm.
like, I've even read that, like, the developers have stressed it's like, if you want to take a break and not pay for the game, go for it.
Oh yeah,
Like, we're not
that.
pressuring you, because that's what got me about WoW. I always felt
Mhm.
pressured to log in every single goddamn day to
Yeah.
do meaningless dailies and farm dungeons and raids for gear.
Mm-hmm. I think Yoshi P is gonna get that quote tattooed on his forehead or something at this point because I think he brings it up so much. He's like, "Please go play other games. This will be here when you get back."
Pretty much.
Because
I mean, like,
he plays other games. I think in one of the live letters he said he plays 14 on his own account, like 5 hours a day, or something like that. And then on top of that, he also plays other games. Like he was a fan of MMOs before he took over 14, and that's why he took over 14.
mm,
So, like
yeah. I mean, like,
their whole team wants people to play other games.
yeah. I mean, like, when I clear up other games, like I'm playing like FF14 in conjunction with Guardians. When I finish
Yeah.
Guardians, I'll have more time freed up to play more FF14.
Yeah.
And then, like, I devote my weekend stream to Switch games.
Nice.
And like, I
Are you
did.
are
Go
you
ahead.
playing Arceus?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
No, but lots of my friends are. So
Lots
I'm
of my
just
friends
like,
are, and I'm like, I am happy that this very, very far cry from the OG Pokemon formula is paying off
yeah.
in spades.
It looks way more.
It's
It
not
looks.
for me.
Yeah, that's
I
very
don't
fair.
think it's for me. Like, I will thoroughly enjoy watch others play it if others start to stream it, but like, it's just not for me. But
That's totally fair.
I mean,
That's honestly how I feel about Pokemon in general. But
yeah, I just do. Like, right now, I think they just had a Nintendo Direct, and they announced
Mhm.
that Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are coming to the online service
Mhm.
through like the Super Nintendo app and whatever. And like,
Nice.
I don't know why, but like, I had such fond memories of playing Earthbound for the first time on the Wii U
Mhm.
that I definitely want to pick it up again.
Nice.
So I'm definitely like planning to stream that tomorrow.
Awesome.
Um, so I'm really looking forward to that. But like, yeah, like for now, I feel like with the time that I spend in 14, I feel like
Mhm.
I am getting my money's worth
I'm
for like
glad.
how much I'm paying for a month.
Mhm.
And like, I'm trying to just make sure I keep enjoying it because I mean, like, I wanna, and like, I'm sure I will. So it's like, if I do like, hang on,
Oh yeah. Do not burn yourself out. It
yeah,
is
one, two,
nothing's
three,
worth
four,
burning
five,
yourself out.
six to eight times a month I'm playing this game,
Mhm.
depending on however the month is laid out. So it's like,
Mhm.
I'd say that's a fair amount. And if I'm playing like a 2 hours a pop, that's like, I think that's almost 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait, 3. That's close to 24 hours a month.
Yeah. It's at least less than $1 per hour that you're playing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just very excited and slightly terrified of where the story will take me.
To the
Who,
moon,
who,
man.
I know it's going to take me to the moon, but who am I going to lose in the process?
Oh, I'm not telling.
Yeah, don't tell me. Let me have my heart broken on stream live.
It will be more fun if it's a surprise, I promise.
Okay. Uh, well, On that note, I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about or share.
Oh, I feel like your audience is going to be so confused why this random girl talked about DC Comics and Final Fantasy for like an hour and a half on this cosplay
I
podcast.
enjoyed the fuck out of it, and I
I'm
promise
so
you,
glad.
hopefully, that others will too.
I hope so too.
Because I feel like this is. I mean, I promised you. You get your FF14
That's true.
splurge in, and I'm glad I did because this was fun
I'm
to
glad.
hear. To like just hearing you listen to a relatively still newbie. I still have the sprout icon on my name.
Oh, sprouts. I
Um,
love them.
yeah, I actually had a random solid good friend of mine on Twitter invite me to her guild. Because
Nice.
for some happenstance reason, I just happened to pick the same server that she's been playing on for who knows how long.
Awesome.
So
It's a good feeling.
her and her SO invited me to their guild, and it's been fun getting to chat with her whenever I get to see her online. Whenever I
Yay.
play, so it's been great. Like I visited their like little island or house or whatever the hell you call
Hmm.
it. Um,
Free company house.
Yeah, apparently I gotta rise through the ranks of my own company, the Serpents, to buy a
Yes.
room, which is dumb.
Yes.
Whatever.
Well, it's still an MMO. They gotta get you to grind for something, right?
I got the money to buy a house. Why won't you let me buy a house or a room? Um,
Yeah.
but in any case, this was an absolute delight getting
Oh,
to
well,
finally talk with you for such a long period of time, fawning over your work, happily finding out that you're as much of a dick lover than I am.
There's the quote right there.
Here's the quote. Here's the last innuendo of the evening. Um, I owe you a giant hug. I say that to all of my guests,
Ah,
all of my first newbie guests that I followed for so long, or at least a decent period now where I just like I want to meet you at a con.
yeah. Well, either one of us will hop coast, so we'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But with all of that mushy stuff being said, Emris, if people want to go find your work, where should they go?
Oh, well, if you would like to see if you're pretty much just here for like my cosplay content, definitely go to Instagram, which I am Emris Coscept on there because I try to keep that just my cosplay work. If you want my cosplay stuff and like my work in progress threads and like just an inordinate amount of Final Fantasy 14 shit posts, go to my Twitter. It will just be a slew of that. And I am Emris Coscept on there as well. So, yeah, I also technically still have a Tumblr. It's also Emris Coscept. I'm like never on there though. So, if you never want to interact with me, hang out on Tumblr.
Oh God. Um, Tumblr's still a thing, huh?
It is. It is a pretty nice place to share photos because you can upload them in like a pretty high resolution and like the framing of them is very nice. And you can like kind of keep it's. I don't really experience much on there personally.
Yeah.
Twitter's fun for uh dropping stuff on people and then running away cackling into the misty night, and then Instagram is just a photo album. So
It really is a photo album.
it is.
Cool. And then
Yeah.
you guys can just follow me at the usual places. Twitter, where sorry, not sorry for being horny all the time. Instagram is just me showing off all my collectibles and all
And
the new stuff I get in the mail.
Antifa.
Antifa, yes. And soon to be Riku and or Kyrie, whenever the hell I can figure
Yeah.
out what the sex is of the cat.
Fair enough.
I'm stuck with them for 2 months
Yeah.
for her to
That's
wean them off. So it's like this is a perfect opportunity to see if I
which
can
one is.
handle
Yeah.
more than one cat.
That's a good point.
My friend says I can probably handle two, no problem. Specifically because Tifa's doing such a good job caring for them. Like she's such a good
Yeah.
mom cat. Um, yeah, and then I stream on Twitch on Mondays. No, not Mondays. Tuesdays and Friday evenings, and then Saturday and or Sunday morning, depending on what the heck I have going on for that day. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this fun-filled episode full of tangents and gorgeous cosplays and really awesome like deep dives into Emris's like thought process and
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. They'll love it. Yeah, and hopefully I will get to see you guys soon in the next episode. So, thanks for listening and have a great night.